So want to start talking some Lego? I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
I'm seeing your background. I don't know if you can see mine, but
Yeah, I saw a little bit in the back there. Yeah.
actually, I have most of my dragons above me.
Ah, that's so cool.
Yeah, I have Griefbringer, and then I have Mechs, but I have Zippy right here. So
Just you have them like hanging from your ceiling, or are they up on a shelf?
no, I have shelves. Actually,
Oh, okay.
I was
I
just building the Overlord Dragon.
oh nice. Yeah, my desk, like I can kind of show you a little bit and stuff, but like my desk is just covered with a bunch of random stuff right now. Like I honestly like I got back from brick fair at the end of I guess the beginning of
Yeah,
August, and I've barely done anything with Lego since then. I just got a bunch of pieces in for some Exo Force stuff that I'm rebuilding slash remaking. So, um, yeah.
actually, I just got in stuff because I want to do the Overlord Dragon wings. So I got some
Oh,
cloth.
cool, nice. Are you
Yeah,
gonna like paint or like draw on the wings to kind of help out the
not sure
um?
yet. I want to. I'm
Not
gonna
sure.
do some material tests because
Okay,
I
cool.
don't know how to like. I'm a plastics guy. I'm not a
Okay.
textiles guy. So I don't know how to do textiles.
Are you wanting to make them out of textiles, or do you like want to make them out of plastic?
I'd love to make them out of plastic, but I don't have the infrastructure to make them out of plastic.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So I know like Brick Legends. I don't know. I don't know what he did on his YouTube channel for his sale for um the like the paddle boat from Tournament of Elements, but he did like one of the sides of the sale, and um it looked like maybe photocopy paper that's kind of got like a plasticky texture on the outside that could maybe work if that's something you're interested in. But
Yeah, eventually.
yeah,
Once they get better in product design, I think I could do it.
that's fair. That's fair. That's
But
fair.
I'm a second year student, so
Okay, cool. Very nice. Very nice.
so I want to start out with beginning now. Finally, I want to start out with who is Legends of Ninjago.
I roll my eyes initially, just because it's really kind of become a joke at this point in time. So back on Eurobricks, I don't know if you're ever part of that community.
Yes.
Um, I joined in 2013, like before I was supposed to, because you're supposed to be like 18 or something to join, and I don't care if somebody finds out now and gets mad at me for whatever
Wait,
reason.
really? You're supposed to be 18?
Yeah, I think so. Oh man. Oh man. I just got the two of us. I just got the two of us. We're banned from Eurobrick forever.
I was on Eurobricks since like 8 or 10.
Oh man. Straight to prison. Straight to prison.
Yep, straight to prison.
But I was a petty little 16-year-old, I think something around there, maybe 16, 17. And I was mad that Legends of Chima was coming out. And so I'm like, oh, like Legends of Chima is dumb. Like, what if it was Legends of Ninjago instead? I'm like, oh, that's a cool username. I'm gonna go ahead and use that. And so I've been using that handle for the better part of
9 years, pretty much.
yeah, almost. Yeah. It's been a while. And so it just kind of stuck whenever last year I was grateful enough to create a logo for the 10-year anniversary for Ninja Whip's documentary.
Yeah.
And so once that happened, I'm like, okay, like I don't want to post this and put this out on my my personal Twitter, so I'm gonna make an Ninjago one. I'm like, okay, I've been using Legends and Ninjago up on Eurobrick. I might as well just continue using that on Twitter. And so I did that. And then when I eventually got an Instagram, I just used the same thing for that too. So since then I've done some other graphic design stuff. That's kind of like my day-to-day sort of thing. So the more I get into that, the less that like I'm kind of doing on the side for like Lego, just I get home and I'm like, I don't really want to do graphic design work on top of the work that I just did at home. So as I kind of get settled into the job that I just took over, like maybe eventually that will change. I'll get back into doing a little more graphic design for the community and stuff. And on top of that, I do a lot of mocks. I'll have a video up on the Masters of Brick Jitsu channel eventually. for the Temple of Fortitude, which I made for Brick Fair.
Yeah,
Brick Fair 2021, which was just such a delight to show off at. A lot of people were like, "Oh my god, that's the one from Rebooted." I'm like, "Yeah, it's like shows up for like 30 seconds, Rebooted," and I, put 7 months in a lot more money than I wanted to into it, but all of that to say that I was very happy to have the opportunity to do that and to represent the Ninjago community in such a way at Brick Fair. And I met a couple other fans at Brick Fair who I'm hoping to get more involved with Masters of Brick Jitsu and get more involved with kind of my side of the Ninjago community, and hopefully get them building some cool stuff so we can have a bigger display next year at Brick Fair, because there were like 4 things total this year. So
I remember when you told me to go to Brick Fair. I'm still considering it. I really want to go.
Do it. So some of the current mods and Masters of Brick Jitsu were there.
Yeah, I've seen the blogs, which I'm actually really enjoying.
Thank you. They're coming out a whole lot slower than I want them to. I'm in charge of kind of splicing everything together and making them fun. Coming out a little bit slower than I'd like them to, but with work and everything, it's been kind of hard. Plus, I didn't accidentally, like I just didn't download someone's stuff onto my computer and they got rid of it. And so now they have to go back and put it back on, which is totally my bad. I'm not putting any of the blame on them because it definitely was supposed to be my job. But yeah, thank you.
No, things happen.
Yeah, exactly. Things happen. Yeah.
So actually, I want to go back. Let's go to 2011. Okay. How did you get into Ninjago?
Oh, man. So I'm actually going to go back a little bit further to 2010. So there's a website out there called Brickopedia. That used to be like my main haven for like all my Ninjago news, which sounds really weird now that like Ninjago Instagram is such a big thing, at least in my eyes, because that's mostly where I live, other than like MOB, Discord, and stuff. And I remember seeing pictures of elemental ninjas, like little colorful ninjas. And I'm like, okay, me being, I think I was 14 at the time. I was just being a little sad, like, depressed 14-year-old, upset about Bionicle no longer existing. And so I'm like, oh, these like little elemental ninja, like this will be a perfect way to fill the hole in my heart that was left behind by Bionicle. And I remember there being a Toys R Us event that you got this like little Ninjago stand with like a sword on the top. It's actually somewhere over there still. And I'm like, okay, like this is gonna be so cool. Like I'm gonna have like this new Ninjago stuff. I remember going to the store on January 1st to pick up some of the 4 small sets. I wanted to make sure that I had all 4 ninja the first day so that I could play with them and stuff. I then started watching the TV show, kind of fell off the bandwagon a little bit for the TV show for a while. I think I only watched like the first 2 like mini episodes, and it wasn't until almost a year later. I still collected the sets over that year, but it wasn't until a year later that I got into what's considered season 1, Rise of the Snakes and stuff, and like actually started getting back into it, and then like really just like rooting for the characters. I remember how devastated I was that that Zane was a
robot.
I was just like, I was almost mad that Zane was a robot. I'm like, Zane, you're my favorite character, and now you're a robot. Like, and then I did some like soul searching and discovered that maybe I'm a robot, and that me and Zane are like actually the same person. So
I remember I became a Zane fan when he was revealed to be an android. It's up to that point. Yes, I was.
Really?
I was younger. I think I was 10 back then, and I was like, Zane for me was just kind of annoying with his stick. I perceived him that way because I was like, this isn't funny. And so when that episode happens, I'm like, oh, Zane's actually really cool now.
Interesting. I think you're the first person I've ever heard say that, because like I know that I'm not alone in that, like liking Zane and then not liking him once I found out he was a robot. I eventually did come around. Like Zane is my favorite ninja, and Rebooted is my favorite season. Well, most nostalgic. I'd still say favorite. I have the Zane copy right there on my desk that I'm trying to fix. Oh yeah, nice. I need to make display stands one day, but for now, all of my ninja are in these little bags right here, separated out by.
I have the same thing. That's the only display stand I have. That's the only
nice. The only things that I currently have on display are the 20th anniversary ninja, and then all the elemental masters, sans Camille, because she doesn't exist, because the hairpiece is retired or something. But yeah, where were we? I got off on a huge tangent there.
You start watching season 1.
Oh yeah, I started watching season 1, and then it was just like it became an obsession from there. I can't tell you how many different ways I found to make money around the house, and do like these little things for my parents and stuff so that I could save up money to buy Ninjago sets. I remember going out and like hunting at Toys R Us and stuff, rest in peace, and like looking for new sets before they came out. That just became like a passion project, if you will, and I still do it today. My roommate hates that I do that because he's like, oh, like where are we going now, and yada yada this. I'm like, I'm going to go buy Lego. Like, you don't have to come if you don't want to. So it really just became an obsession after that. I used to download episodes on my phone because we didn't have like Wi-Fi at my house. So I used to download episodes from the phone. I used to walk down to the Burger King at the end of my street, latch onto the Wi-Fi, download episodes using a video downloader on my phone, and then I would take it home and watch all of them.
Did you use iTunes? Because I used iTunes back then.
It was so long ago that I honestly don't remember. I remember there was this one time I was like late to marching band, like a football game performance, because I was watching Ninjago, and I was like a section leader at that time. I used to play tenors on the drum line. I was a section leader at the time, and my drum captain was like, where were you? He was like, you were supposed to be here like 20 minutes ago. And I'm like, I'm going to come up with something that's not the truth, because I know how mad he'd be if I actually told him why I was really late. I don't remember what I said. I just remember that I came up with a lie. So I've lied to watch Ninjago. That's a public thing now.
Did you ever have a point where you stopped watching Ninjago?
After I think the only time there's been like that hiccup would have been after the first too many episodes, and then it took almost a year for me to get back into it. But I never stopped like buying the sets, and I never like stopped caring for the show or for the line. So other than that, like maybe just when it's like inconvenient, but like never for an extended amount of time. Like I caught up on all of Seabound probably like 2 days before the finale came out, and I probably watched like 6 or 7 episodes, but again, not for an extended amount of time.
No, because I'm asking because for me to have something happen to me when I entered high school, I think it was when Rebooted came out, and I remember all my friends came for my birthday and they made fun of me because I had all the first wave of Rebooted. I got it all for Christmas. I remember I was I just wanted the ninja vehicles, but my parents gave me for Christmas. They gave me the Ninja Dragon, and so I had it all. It was the first wave. I collected every single set, and I was so proud of it. And then I remember
you should be like Rebooted was an incredible wave, an incredible comeback for the theme. So,
do you remember the poster?
I remember the poster? I found that on Wikipedia, and I'm like, "There's no way," because I was so distraught when like it was canceled, and then as soon as I saw the poster, I'm like, "What?" Because like I don't know who I'd be today if I didn't have Ninjago. Like
people don't remember this, but I just because time. But Ninjago season 2 came out in 2012. Like it came out in September on YouTube.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the sets came out in 2013, and then we didn't get Ninjago until 2014.
Yep.
So it was a huge time without Ninjago. So that poster was like, what? It's not canceled anymore.
Especially when I personally bought all of the season 2 sets. So all of like the Stone Warrior sets. In like one fell swoop. Like I'd saved up like Christmas money or birthday money or something like that and just like bought them all at once. And so like it was almost an entire year before I got the Nindroid Mech Dragon. I think was the first of the first of that wave that I purchased. But so like did your friends make fun of you or something for having that?
No, they made fun of me and then they told the girls at school. And that's why I stopped watching Ninjago.
Oh man, how long was that? How long was that break?
I stopped watching Ninjago from 2014 because that's the last theme or sets like waves I bought.
Okay.
And I didn't start buying it till Legacy came out in the 2019. But like late 2019. I missed out on everything.
So much.
I missed out on everything. I'm so mad to myself to this day.
Were you the one that was saying the other day that like you're going back and like buying some of them now that like you're a fan again? Wasn't that you?
I'm not sure if that was me, but I just bought this recently. And then
I don't have that one. That's a dragon that I gotta find still. It was someone in the MOB chat that was saying that, but man.
And then I also bought I have Enter the Serpent. I recently got it.
Okay.
I got the Lighthouse. I don't know if you can see it back then. It's like there, the Lighthouse and
down there in the corner. Yep.
And then the Dog Shank set. I forgot the name. Spider Widow Island.
Tiger Widow Island.
Tiger Widow Island. Yeah.
Yeah. So Tiger Widow Island. Yeah.
And Jay's Energy Dragon also got that.
Now one from Skybound.
Yeah, Skybound.
I guess there was another one. Yeah.
And then I got this on Bricklink recently for $2. Such a steal.
Oh man. Yeah, I was gonna say Moro is for whatever reason it's weird that like the difference between Moro with a cape and Moro without a cape is like $30.
Yeah, no. I bought just the pieces. I bought just the pieces and then I assembled them. But it was $2 just the piece.
Smart. That's smart.
I always try doing that when I buy minifigs. I always try doing that with Wolverine. I have a story. Wolverine, I didn't buy him, but then I got just the pieces and I paid like $7.
Oh man, there was someone recently that I was talking to that did the same thing with Deadpool. It was Marty, Bio Ninja.
Bio Ninja.
Yeah. He recently got Deadpool, I think, and was like only missing one piece. There was a crack in like the torso or something, but like he got it for like not that much money. And I got mine from my little brother who got the set and then didn't want the Deadpool, or I stole it.
Man, actually, I told the story in another podcast, but I remember when the Deadpool set came out, I didn't buy it. And you know what set? Like I was gonna buy it, but then I saw another set and I didn't get it. Can you guess the other set I bought instead of the Deadpool?
I'm trying to remember what year that came out.
No, it was 2013. It was in 2013. Like the set was about to be retired. I was at Toys R Us, and it was the last Deadpool set there. And then I saw this new theme that came out that year, and I bought a $30 set instead. It is a trick question.
It couldn't have been Shima because Shima came out
2013.
Was it Shima?
No, it wasn't Shima. It is a trick question.
I was going to be really disappointed in you.
It was Lone Ranger.
Oh man, I forgot that there was some at a brick fair. It's funny you mentioned that. There was some at a brick fair that was selling like all the sets and like for relatively cheap too. I'm like, I forgot that Lego even did a theme over Lone Ranger. It was one of those like weird random Disney IPs that they got a hold of, and I'm just like, I didn't watch the show ever because it was like way out of my age bracket, and I'm surely not going to watch this movie. So.
Actually, I remember. I don't know if you remember the Brick Show, but I didn't like.
Yes.
But then I remember watching those reviews and being like, I want those sets. They're supposed to look so cool. I want those sets.
They're good
sets.
Yeah, there's definitely merit in like places like the Brick Show. I think that Jang Bricks is and always will be what Brick Show wanted to be, and is like one of the best Lego YouTubers period.
He is
like,
the best. It's not a conversation. Jang is the best.
Yeah, and like he's genuine. He like loves his followers. Like he got like a monorail set from like a random I don't remember if it was a friend or like someone, but he like was weeping over the fact that he got the set because of like how much he had wanted that set, and like he's so genuine, such a genuine guy, and like I'd love for him to like come to one of those like Brick Fair sort of things. I can't like speak for him, but like it seems like he's just like way too like cool for something like that. Like I met M&R at Brick Fair this past year, and that was really cool. But like Jane Bricks is on just like a whole nother level from everybody else that like exists right now on YouTube. And that's like, I'm sure I'll get flack from that from someone, but like Jane Bricks is just head and heels above everyone else. Sorry, another tangent.
No, I agree completely. The thing about Jang is he knows what he's talking about. Like he understands like production and how difficult that can be. Because most of the times, like Lego reviewers, they just look at stuff from a like, oh, I like this, I don't like this. But most of the times, manufacturing standpoint, that's important. Like, why can't this like
100%?
I saw a meme and I saw like the YouTube short, and it's a really funny YouTube short, but the comments didn't get the joke. Like it was like a ranting about the gunship, and the guy was just like, yes, Lego should make a gunship, sell for $160, have 100 clone troopers, and and the comments were like, oh, this sounds amazing, and I was like, it's a joke. And I commented like, people don't really just the joke is just crossing over the people.
there are a lot of things like that. Like, oh man, I don't even want to get down this road, but like seeing a lot of people react, especially to like new set things, and then complaining about like,
no, I don't know how to say this. Speak it.
So, I mean, with the new Ninjago leaks.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
I am absolutely baffled by the amount of people who are just like, and this happens with every single rumor release. There's always just like this huge like comeuppance, like everybody's just mad, like oh, like we're not getting what I wanted. And then by the time the sets are actually revealed and there are reviews out for them, they're in love with them. And it's like people just
I made a video about
and I'm
this.
like,
no, sorry, you go first.
No, you're good. You're good. Please.
No,
go.
I made a video about this because I saw people complaining like, oh my God, Ninjago, like they're doing another car, they're doing another mech, they're doing another dragon, they're doing another temple. And I made a video about this being like, Ninjago's always been like, Ninjago's always been temples. It's always been cars. It's always been, and the point of the video is like, it's not about the concept. It's about the execution. It's about like.
Exactly. And that's just like just across. I haven't seen as much on Twitter. I'm not like as active on Twitter as I used to be, which like I kind of regret because like I love the people that I've gotten to know on Twitter and stuff. But a lot of it's just a job thing because at my old job I could sit on Twitter and interact with people because that was part of my job, being the marketing manager for the car dealership that I was a part of. Was interacting with their Twitter, and then I could like whenever things came up on my personal Twitter, I could just go over and react to that. But I can't really do that anymore because my schedule is just so tight. But yeah, people would just like Instagram is especially bad about it. Like Twitter itself can be kind of toxic. I've definitely avoided the toxicity on there as much as possible. Just because that kind of stuff is really annoying. But on like Instagram, especially whenever rumor sets come out, there's always going to be a lot of people who gripe. And then by the time the sets come out, they're like, oh, like this is so cool. Like I've always liked this idea. And I'm like, no, you didn't. I could find a post from literally 3 months ago that has you complaining about this exact thing. And I just I think that's just so silly and so childish. And maybe I'm easy to please. Like there are, of course, Ninjago sets every wave that I'm not going to like. Things that I'm not going to buy, things that don't interest me. I'm also I don't really buy for the sets unless I think they're really cool. Because my main priority when it comes to Ninjago is figures. I think out of the 400 some figures that exist, I'm missing maybe 10.
Wow, that's a wow.
That includes the Ninjago movie too. And so when I see a wave, I'm like, okay, what's the easiest way for me to get?
Yeah. I completely, yeah.
And unless there's something that's like really, really cool, like a really, really cool set that doesn't fit into that, like list, then I won't get it. Like, I'm trying to think of, I mean, take almost the entire like first 2 years of Legacy. There weren't really, I guess the first year of Legacy, there wasn't like any new suits. Like, I needed to get the Monastery of Spinjitzu, and that was it.
Yeah.
And like maybe a couple other ones, but if I know that I can eventually bricklink something, then I'll bricklink the figure later. Like, so like Benthamar, I plan on just bricklinking him instead of getting the Temple of the Endless Sea, because I don't have space for the Temple of the Endless Sea. It looks cool. It's got Wojira in it, but Wojira is just a brick built character, and I have plans to do a mock for her later on anyway. So mine's just going to be bigger and probably cooler looking than the one that Lego has. So
I think the Temple of the Infinite Sea is the one. Like, I'm just planning on getting 2 Seabound sets. You know, the Bounty and the Temple of the Infinite Sea.
The Bounty is,
it's so good.
kiss.
I like, it didn't need to be that good, but it's so good.
It really didn't. And I don't know if you've seen the MOB video or like any of the interviews and stuff that
the interview the
designer does, but like, man, like I love how much Nick is into like mechs and stuff.
Because,
like as someone who used to adore mechs, I used to like Exoforce used to be my jam. Like, I was really an Exoforce near the end of its life, but like I was still an Exoforce. It was like the first time I'd really, I guess with the exception of Knight's Kingdom, was the first, and Aqua Raiders. Okay, now I just sound like a hypocrite. Was like one of the first times I really broke out of Bionicle, because I had all the Bionicles and stuff growing up. I still have some in my room and scattered in boxes and stuff. But like mechs are so cool, and like there have been far and few between Ninjago mechs that I haven't liked. And like the little mech at the front of the Bounty did not need to be there, but it was, and it's brilliant.
It is. I didn't plan on getting to the Hydra Bounty, but when I saw that, I was like, this set is not. It doesn't deserve to be that good, but it's so good.
It's huge. Like, it's massive. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's longer than the movie Bounty, which is impressive because that thing's already huge.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Like, is it bigger than that?
A little bit. It's not like, obviously not height wise and stuff, but it is longer, like by maybe 2 inches.
It's still 2 inches.
yeah. 2 inches is 2 inches.
Actually, talking about mechs, have you gotten any of the Monkie Kid mechs?
So I have. Would you include the
Bone Demon?
No, I don't have that one yet. Eventually, maybe someday. Because Amazon is picking up the Monkie Kid line, I'm not super worried about the staying power of that set in particular, and I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of an Amazon discount eventually. So, I
mean, I'm super pumped about Amazon picking up Monkie Kid, because that means discounts are gonna come more often.
Exactly. Especially like I can't fault Lego for not discounting their own stuff unless it's like something that's like not selling well or they have a lot of, because that's
video.
What
video? I walked into a Lego store the other day. Sorry for interrupting, but I saw the new wave of video on 20% discount.
Oh man, see there are some, and I don't know if it's just like the pieces that are used. Because I've gotten like with building the Temple of Fortitude and stuff, I've gotten to a point where like buying sets is almost an annoyance. Because I'd rather spend the money that I have on. Excuse me. Sorry, saw that.
No problem.
Coke Zero. I would prefer to buy pieces so that I can build my own stuff, but at the same time, like, I still, I want to fill out the minifigure collection. And that just like building my own stuff means a little more to me than buying sets that have, pieces that I may or may not use. But back to the Monkie Kid stuff. I have Sandy's Big Fig Mech, which is brilliant. Like a Big Fig Mech, like a mech for a Big Fig, like that's just unheard of. And that was actually one that I got through land, so that was kind of cool. I have the Noodle Bowl mech. That counts as a mech, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that counts as a mech. Does the Guardian Dragon, the Lion Guardian, count as a mech?
Technically, like it's a robot.
Yeah, that's fair. It is a robot. So like mech-esque. And then I have the little monkey kid mech from the boat.
Oh no, I was asking because I have the Bone Demon, and you would love this thing.
I know. And Braden and Josh Deck talk about it all the time. They're like, oh, like this mech's so cool. We should get it. And I'm like, maybe someday when I have the money and I stop buying my own Legos, like for my own stuff. So
I was saving up money for Seabound, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get Seabound. I love this wave. Then the Bone Demon announces, and all that money went out of the way. I got the Bone Demon.
I think you made the proper choice there. I'm not saying that Seabound is bad, because Seabound is like right up there. My favorite waves, like definitely top 3. But like there's something about Monkey Kid's aesthetic that is just like new and refreshing. And I think one of the biggest reasons I'm glad about it coming to Amazon is because more people will have access to it. Because like that was always my thing with Monkey Kid from the get-go. It was like, this isn't going to sell well because, at least it's not going to sell well here in the US because it's based off of a Chinese folklore. Which, by the way, like if you haven't read Journey to the West, like
it's great. I've read it. Yeah, I've read it.
I've only read a portion of it, but I did like an unabridged version of it on YouTube, an abridged version of it on YouTube, and that was brilliant. And like I'm glad that they are going with Amazon. All that to say, I'm glad they're going with Amazon because I think it'll burst the market open for that a little bit and help more people realize how cool it is. Especially if what Matthew, I can't remember his last name.
Ashton, Matthew Ashton, yeah.
He's the VP of design at Lego. If it really is continuing into 2023, there's so much they can do with it. There's so many there's still so much of the story of the Journey to the West that Monkey Kid still isn't covered. That I'm excited for them to show through.
Actually, something I found interesting about the Matthew Ashton thing is so many people were like, oh no, he's trying to save the theme. And I'm like, no, like if you watch the clip, he's just talking about it like off the top of his head. He's like, oh yeah, I'm working on this. And he just casually mentions Monkey Kid.
Yeah.
that's what got me excited. Because he's not like, oh, I'm working on Monkey Kid 2023. It's coming 2023. He was just like, oh, I'm working on Ninjago. I'm working on like he was asked like, what are you working on? It's like, oh, we're working on a lot of themes. So like Speed Champions, Ninjago, Monkey Kid, and then I was like, wait, what? Monkey Kid?
I'm sure that there was some level of like premeditation to those. Things that like, I mean, he is like the design manager, like the design vice president of Lego. Like there are definitely PR skills within him already that are, probably just underlying. But like, I agree. I think that we'll see Ninjago. Or sorry, I think we'll see in 2023 without a doubt. Because I remember there was even like concerns that it was going to end after
this year,
and I'm like, I hope not. Like we just got this huge
I remember like when I started covering Monkey Kid on my channel, a lot of people told me like, oh, this team is dead. And I remember a big YouTuber, I don't want to mention his name because I don't want to call him out. He made a video being like, oh, Monkey Kid is dead. And I was like, you just don't know the context. Because for a long time, Monkey Kid, like this is what I've always told people. Monkey Kid was designed to be a China exclusive theme.
Yep.
And like the only reason Monkey Kid came to the US on Lego stores is because people would be mad if it didn't. People would be like, oh, why is Lego making China exclusive stuff?
Yeah, like, and this Lego had already committed to that whole like non-exclusive
region exclusive,
yeah, the regional exclusive sets and stuff. So like it makes total sense. And I agree. Like there have been people. Again, I won't like call people out for the sake of not wanting to call them out on a YouTube channel. that only hear and see. And I think there are a lot of, I know that I'm probably, at fault for this, keeping my, circle pretty tight with just Ninjago fans. There are very few people on Instagram and Twitter that probably take the time to look at the full picture of all of Lego instead of just,
this bubble
being focused in on their small bubble. Exactly. I can think of one or two people off the top of my head that are probably like that dedicated to everything. And like mad props to those people too. Like definitely some great people out there that are trying their hardest to cover everything. But it's not a very popular thing to do, I don't think.
No, I think most channels, this is kind of like why I started a podcast, because for a long time I was just seen as a Monkey Kid YouTuber, and that kind of stressed me out because I love Ninjago too. I love Star Wars. I love Marvel. I love everything.
Because I think some of the things that I saw your channel on first were Monkey Kid like videos and stuff. Mostly because my YouTube channel was saturated with other Ninjago YouTubers, or I guess one in particular. But
the thing about like starting Monkey Kid stuff is, well, nobody was covering Monkey Kid, and I felt like there was this void. And then I watched Monkey Kid and I liked it, so I was like, let me talk about this.
And that's a smart marketing move too, because I think one of the reasons I never got into, or
like
I never
Shima
tried,
or Nexo Knights, yeah,
right?
Like, there wasn't YouTubers.
Exactly. One of the things that I never tried doing, I had considered it once or twice, even last year whenever I started, I started my Twitter and I started my Instagram and stuff, and kind of delve back into the broader community of Ninjago fans, other than just kind of like my the people that I followed on my personal Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming a larger part of that. I'm like, maybe I should start a YouTube channel. And being a marketing graphic design student in college, that takes a lot of time. There's a lot of time that's needed to dedicate to those sort of things. And like last year when I kind of started hashing that out, I'm like, I barely have enough time to do my Instagram and my Twitter account. Like, I don't want to add this extra stress onto me and also do YouTube video, or also do YouTube channel. And so when Masters of Bujitsu was started, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I can be a part of this kind of Ninjago conglomerate almost, and have my work be up along the side of other people's other names in the Ninjago community, and be perfectly happy not having my own channel. So like mad props to you for having your own channel and doing this on your own, because I could not do that.
Actually, like the reason I started the channel was just out of pure boredom, because it was last year, lockdown, and I graduated from high school and I was going to college, but it didn't feel like I was graduating. I was going to college. I was just in lockdown all summer, bored. And then I remember I just had an idea. Let's talk about what I want to see in Ninjago season 14.
And that's. And I think, I mean, because there have been some other, I don't want to call it names, but there have been some other YouTubers that have come out, have kind of come out of their shells and stuff, and have, grown because of the lockdowns last summer. And I think that's awesome. It was a great way to make good of a bad situation. And you just seeing that growth and stuff is uplifting to know that there are still people that are around my age that want to focus their energy towards bringing positivity to YouTube. Because out of the people that I know that grew their channels through the pandemic, only like all of them are around a little bit younger. I don't want to say I'm one of the older people in the Ninjago community, but like I'm definitely a little bit higher up there. I'm almost 25.
How old are you? Oh, you're 25. Okay.
I'm 25. Yeah. Sorry, I'm 24 right now. I'll be 25 in November.
Okay.
But it's like I know that there are older fans than me, but like the general kind of Ninjago age bracket right now is 13 to
Actually, I think they're about most people I've met are like around my age bracket, 17 to 20.
Yep. At least the ones that are within the communities that I'm in. Again, there are probably younger groups out and stuff there, but like, I mean, just due to policies and stuff regarding, Masters of Brick Jitsu, you're not allowed to be younger than 13. I know that we have some younger people in there because you can't be, I don't think that you can even be a fully fledged member of Masters of Brick Jitsu until 18. You're 18. Yeah.
Yeah. I was, I forgot what I was going to say, but I love what Bryden did with Masters of Brick Jitsu. I was talking, I had him on the podcast. I haven't posted the episode because I lost it, but I'm going to find it. I think this is going to come out before the Ninja Whip episode.
Oh man, spoilers.
I lost it. I lost I always keep them in USBs, but I lost the USB.
Oh man.
But I was telling him this, that I love what he's doing. I think because it's just such a positive community. I'm not really active on Discord because I think Discord sucks. But like,
each their own, I guess.
it's arguably like it's like if you love it, cool. But I've had bad experiences on Discord.
Yeah,
and fair. I'm not really active over there. But every time I open the Ninjago, the Masters of Jiu-Jitsu Discord, I always see you talking and always being so positive and always replying to people.
And that's like, there is so much negativity in the LEGO community as a whole. And I think that a lot of like what Ninjago, like the core elements, take like the online game that's up right now, like, talking about like courage and virtues and stuff. And like, that's what Ninjago's about. And so when I made my Twitter last year, I made it a point. I'm like, I will not be a negative force in this like community. Like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for the negativity. Other people don't have time for the negativity. Like, there just needs to be people that are, good people. And I think that's one of the things that, whenever Braden brought the idea of Masters of Brick Jitsu to me, I'm like, this is brilliant. I think this is really cool. What can I do to help you get this up off the ground? Because I'd worked with him on the documentary. He was the one who kind of pushed me into the Ninjago sphere to begin with posting that original 10-year anniversary logo, which was like picked up by like everyone. Like, I got on Instagram like that evening, and like the Fold had posted it, like Merc Fusion 21 had posted it. I'm like, why is my logo like, people are actually taking this serious? Like,
I posted it too. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I'm not mad about it. I got like a little bit mad about it to begin with, because like Braden gave me credit for it, and then I'm like,
but nobody else.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I'm like,
I didn't know you make the poster like until the documentary came out.
I didn't make like the drawing poster. That was Josh. I just made the logo that's like,
with a 10 in the O.
Yeah,
right?
like that's like similar to like this right there.
Yeah.
That's all. And again, I copied the Lego design. It was just like my way to kind of help give back and stuff. And it was a cool way for me to get involved, and a cool way for me to help out Braden and stuff. And since then I've tried my very hardest to try to be a positive role model, especially since I am older than the general audience. I try to be a good role model in the Ninjago community. And I know that there are people that actively try to like not be as uplifting, and that's
I see your point. Yeah,
they can do that if that's what they want to do, but I won't stoop to that level, because again, it's not worth my time to be negative. I only got 24 hours in the day, and the only time I'm negative is when I have to wake up to go to work. So that's it.
No, I really do enjoy speaking to you, because you always reply. You always you're just such a nice guy.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Now, let's talk about more about Ninjago.
Okay.
What is your favorite? Like, what do you think is the best year/wave? Like, if you could, like, season and wave combination, what's the best season and wave? Because arguably, I would say the best year is 2018 with Hunted and Sons of Garmadon. But the sets, I don't think the sets are that good, but the seasons are really good. But so what do you think is the best season and set combination?
So I just to go off what you just said, I am not the biggest fan of the hunted seasons, but I really like the hunted sets. They're like other, I guess I don't want to say that because that's not true. I almost had the entire season, but there are very few seasons that I have all of, or very few like waves that I have all of. But definitely set 2 season, hands down for me, has to be rebooted.
Okay.
And I'll give you a few reasons why. First, it was kind of the rebirth, like the literal like reboot.
I love the title for that reason.
It's when I was at Brick Fair, I had a lot of like younger parents with children who were just getting in Ninjago stuff, asking me the same question. And I always brought that up because it's like it's so clever. And as a graphic designer and as a marketer, like that's like that sort of like cleverness, that like kind of foresight is just brilliant to me. But rebooted, like you ever seen a ship that looks like this?
Nope.
Exactly. Like
and the play feature is great.
Yes, like I think I broke mine because like it doesn't completely work, but like the fact that this just moves like that's, I remember seeing it and I was just like dumbfounded. And so then you have like the only probably the weakest set out of that entire wave was the Overboard bike, because like cool, we got like Cyrus Borg, but like we got the Overboard, even though that's dumb. It's the most negative I'm going to be on this podcast. But like that was just a bad set. It was like one of the first few that I got, but it was a bad set. I did get a tread that I used for something else, so that's cool. But just a bad set. But yeah, so we got like things like the Ninja Copter, which we still need a legacy version of. We got the Temple of Fortitude, which like, as you know, I'm a big fan of that one. We got the Overlord mech, which was we got the Overlord, like an in-person like minifigure version of the Overlord.
And it's so expensive now also.
That's like, I love seeing that there is collector value within Ninjago, because like I'm not saying that there's not collector value in like Legends of Chima or
they're pretty cheap.
Nexo Knights, but like I mean, so Nexo Knights has got like at least 3 or goodness gracious, 3 or 4 like $30+ figures, which is ridiculous, but there's value in Ninjago, and I love that. But yeah, the Overboard mech, Kai's car was cool, even though I didn't get that until the beginning of this year, because I have every legacy set plus their original version from that original season, which is kind of a cool little like. That's why I'm hoping that legacy doesn't go away for a long time, is because I like hunting down or rebuilding. There's been a couple sets that I've gone through my own collection to rebuild or just to build, that I've bought stickers and figures and stuff off of Bricklink to help kind of compensate for not originally getting it. But there's just a lot of like really like smart writing, in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like rebooted because of like how slow and lazy the writing feels, but like when rebooted initially came out, it aired, at least here in the US, aired 8 episodes over the course of almost an entire year. We got 2 brand new episodes every like 2 months almost.
Yeah, it was pretty slow. I remember.
And like back in that day, I was on Ninjago Tumblr, which is not something that like I say like lightly. Like I was on Ninjago Tumblr. I was part of that mess.
Safe water.
Exactly. Not saying like there are a lot of cool people that were on Ninjago Tumblr at the same time I was. That's where I first learned about Joshua Deck and all of his art, and how incredibly talented he is with that. Purple Dragon was another one that I met on there, albeit briefly, but there was a lot of good that also came out of Ninjago Tumblr. But I remember people linking their regional English versions onto Tumblr, and so that's where I watched and stuff. And like I said earlier, I didn't have internet at my house through high school and stuff when I was watching Ninjago, and so like I went to the library to watch the last episode, watch the Titanium Ninja, and I remember like just bawling in a public library with my 3 younger siblings like sitting around me, like also watching it with me, just be like, bro, you're like 15 years old and you're watching this Lego cartoon and you're crying, like grow up. And so like my siblings aren't huge Lego fans. My little sister is, now that she's 16, 17 years old, which is not really how that works, but
yeah.
I definitely got the Lego gene in the family. Whether that was like whether I forcibly took that or not, like I was the one that collected the Lego. But yeah, back to the original question, hands down, it's got to be rebooted.
Yeah,
like through and through.
Actually, I want to bring up something you said about Nexo Knights, because I recently got into. I didn't get into it because Nexo Knights is not that good, but I love the sets. I think the sets are amazing, and I bought a collection for $300, and I come to find out those sets I got in that collection are extremely expensive. I got the Colossus.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna
I
ask.
got the Joker's Lair. I got the Jestro's HQ.
Okay.
What else did I get? I have like, yeah. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 7 Nexo Knight sets.
Nice.
And the Colossus. I'm impressed with how expensive that set is.
Yeah. And one of the biggest reasons, well, I don't say one of the biggest reasons because I don't know for sure, but one of the reasons is did the minifigures come with that?
Yeah, Stone Clay came with that.
Because I was gonna say Stone Clay took me, Stone Clay and the Lego Ideas Wally set. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's beautiful, and it's just like such a cool like stone blue like a minifigure, like chef's kiss. But yeah, during the first part of the lockdown and stuff, I was still going to work. My work didn't really take to COVID precautions well, and so I was still in and out of work. Always wearing a mask, but like it was but Wally, the Lego Ideas Wally and Stone Clay were my missions for that summer. And so piece by piece, I pieced Wally together, took a lot of like Shima pieces and stuff, like because it's like Wally's the same color as all like the Lion Temple and stuff, and that faction. And then Stone Clay, I bought, like, I slowly piece by piece put Stone Clay together. I probably spent $27 on him total. I don't know if that includes shipping or not, but like I bought pieces from Russia. I bought pieces from like Budapest. I bought one from Spain. None of them were local. Not a single Stone Clay was local.
And they're so expensive. He's so expensive.
And they're so expensive.
Also, like the Gar, the guy with the black wings, he's also extremely expensive.
He's got a really cool I think he's got a really cool mask, or like a really cool face print. It's one of those two. But like the black and the blue looks real.
That was my first Nexo Knight set, and that got me into the theme, or got me into looking into the theme.
Really, that's impressive, because I know that a lot of people didn't like the second wave. They liked, well, I know that a lot of people didn't like Nexo Knights regardless.
Yeah.
But whenever Nexo Knights, the second wave came out, there were a lot more people that didn't like it because of the direction they decided to take it with, kind of the big stone blocky nature. I don't know if you know who Nick on Planet Ripple is on YouTube.
Yeah, he's actually a really good friend of mine. He's been on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. He like his like retrospectives and stuff and like look backs on Lego themes is brilliant, because he breaks it down so well. And I don't know how many, like I don't really know like where he sits in the like Lego community and stuff. I really only know him from YouTube. I maybe like liked one or two of his posts on Instagram. but or not on Instagram, on Twitter, but like I don't know him.
He's one of the coolest people I know.
Yeah, and just listening to him talk and like how passionate he is about Lego, and like he is gracefully passionate. Like even if he doesn't like something, he'll go about saying it in like a graceful way. And I'm like, bro, like you are so freaking cool. Like
actually, something you said earlier that I remember I in the podcast I recorded with him. He mentioned this, that he doesn't understand people who like just minifigs. Like he's a build guy. Like he has to have the environment. And when you said you just prefer minifigs, my head went directly to that and be like, oh, Nick would have, if I posted this on YouTube and Nick watched it, he probably would have commented something about that comment.
Let me clarify that. Not to get Nick off my keister on this. But if like I'm a location set guy over like anything every day of the week. Oh, yeah. Okay. I love location sets. I don't think there's with the exception of probably the Temple of Temple of Forbidden Spinjitzu, because that's not a thing. The Temple of Air Jitsu. There we go. There aren't a whole lot of location based sets from Ninjago that I don't have. Because I agree. I think that like setting the stage for your minifigures is perfect. And that's also like why a lot of my mocks are actually, I think almost all of my mocks so far have been location based sets, with the exception of the Overlord Walker, but that was just like part of the
that was part of the scene.
Yeah. And yeah, I like vehicles when they have their purpose. Like the Golden Weapon like sets obviously have their purpose within the story, so therefore I'll get them. The rebooted sets kind of the same way, like the location or the
Technoblades.
No. Like the vehicles and stuff had their purpose within the show.
Yeah,
exactly. That was their purpose, was like being hacked and stuff, and so but like if like and I think it's one of the reasons I don't like the Overborg attack, because that set has no purpose within the show.
Was it in the show? I can't remember it being in the show.
The bike
the bike is, but is the Overborg?
No,
right? Yeah,
not the Overborg, like not the thing that the Overborg drives. The Overborg himself is in the show briefly. Exactly. Corpse. He's like exactly, which like even like 15-year-old me was like, that's creepy. Like,
yeah, just having a guy be like super dead.
I really hope he's like not actually done, just passed out. Like poor guy already lost his legs and he'd lose his life too. But and I think that's like one of my biggest fears, taking on Exoforce like I am. Like I want to build a giant, well, actually it'd probably be at the same size as the original set, but like I'm scaling down mechs and I've never been a great mech builder. I'm making a bigger, like there's a set called the mobile defense tank that I'm making like a newer version of.
Isn't it the one with the treads, right?
Yeah. And so I've got these like I wish I had a piece to show you, but I have these like purple pieces that I'm using as a windshield because I'm kind of adding some extra accent colors and stuff to it. But like I am like terrified spitless to start doing those because I'm not a vehicle builder. So it'll be interesting to see how that works, and they'll be on my Instagram and stuff eventually.
I think we have the opposite problem. I am a mech builder, but I can't do locations. That's the one thing I can't do.
Okay. For me, locations like I'll look at something. So like with the Temple of Fortitude, I just found a bunch of pictures and went from there. Because like what you see is what you get when it comes to like the images stuff from the show. Like I tried making it as close to what was in the show as possible. And like in my mind, I'm like, okay, this piece is going to be this piece. And I started with the windows. The windows are actually garage doors, like the Lego garage doors, like those long pieces that clip together. That's what the windows are. So that was like where I first got them. Like those windows look like the windows from the show. I'm going to use that as my starting point. And so I just went from there. Wow. With mechs, I was like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't do functions and stuff well. Like the Temple of Fortitude has like 0 functions other than like coming apart in pieces. Because like the technicality, I think, of functions scares me. because
I see your point. Yeah, I see your point.
They're toying with it for like hours, only for it to not be right. You know?
Oh well, actually, I want to talk about this because the thought has been in my head, and I want to talk before I forget about it. Why do you hate Shima?
Okay, I don't hate Shima.
Okay.
I had this conversation with Jumbo Gauge Sam, who is he was on the trip with us in Brick Fair, and I don't hate Shima anymore.
Anymore.
I hated Shima initially because it was gonna replace Ninjago. That kind of died down a little bit when I found out that Ninjago wasn't actually being fully canceled. I like the sets. I think the TV show is garbage.
I will agree with you. I remember when 2013. I remember when Ninjago was announced, because I didn't like the season 2 wave. You know, the stone. I just didn't like. The only thing I wanted was the golden dragon, and that was really hard to find. Really? And so yeah, for me, it was extremely hard to find, or it was always sold out.
I was gonna say, 'cause I remember seeing stacks of them, like stacks of them, just like everywhere. They were on clearance in my Toys R Us actually for a while. So
wow,
that's crazy to me. Anyway, sorry.
So I like a little rat. I went running to Shima and I bought some sets from the first wave, and then I never bought any more Shima after that.
Well, yeah, because you didn't want to label yourself as a trader. Like that makes total sense.
Yeah.
No, I have no beef with. I have no real beef with Shima.
I recently got this actually. I mean, this thing. I like it. It's the polar bear mech.
Oh, so the ice, like the fire and ice theme. I wish they would have done what they did with the fire and ice theme of Ninjago. What they did with the fire and ice theme of Shima. Because I think fire and ice theme is like, I've always thought it was kind of a cool theme. Especially, you know, being a fan of like Bionicle and stuff and like the elements, and huge Avatar: The Last Airbender fan too. But the quote unquote fire and ice theme of Ninjago, I think, was really lacking because it wasn't really fire and ice like the sets made it out to be. It was just like, we're going to be in a desert for half of it and in an ice world for the next. And
I hate season 11. I hate season 11.
I don't hate it. I hate the pacing of it. I hate that I set my expectations so high for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not a typical like from the get-go wild brain hater. That also being said, I said this earlier. I am, especially when it comes to Ninjago, because of how long I've been following this theme, and how much it means to me. I am pretty easy to please. And I think that's one of the reasons why, like, when people sit there and complain, even if they have valid complaints, I'm just kind of going to be like, okay, like, but like, don't complain until you see the sets.
Yeah.
Which, again, we've been over that, but, yeah, I didn't hate Secrets of the Forbidden Smajutsu. I think it had a lot of promise and didn't fulfill all those promises, but I feel like there was also a lot of hype from the community, and I feel like a lot of people didn't know that it was switching companies until
I remember the posters. That's the first season I watched I watched back being a Ninjago fan.
Oh, that's right. That would make sense with like the way that everything that lines up. But
I remember seeing the posters and being like, oh, Akita looks so awesome. I hope I can't wait to see her in the show.
I got one of the posters from Braggy, right? One of the directors, I think, for the show.
Oh, wow.
I won a drawing contest last year. Well, I didn't win a drawing contest. Technically, Joshua Deck won the drawing contest, but Braggy Shroot was like, you know, it's been a tough year. Everybody gets a poster. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to get a poster from like the Braggy Shroot. Like, this is really cool. But yeah, the posters for that season are brilliant. And while I've liked all the other posters, like this poster in particular, I'm still waiting to get a
frame. Yeah.
A frame to hang it up, but like this poster,
that's awesome,
so cool because it's just fire and ice and a ninja in the middle, and that's what I was expecting for this wave, and didn't really get that. Like I wanted like a fire snake versus, you know, Boreal fight, and I never got that. So
actually, it kind of bugs me that Sphera was the first like full female Ninjago villain, and she sucked. Like Harumi technically was a villain.
I was gonna say like Harumi. I'm like wait,
but like Harumi was a side
but
villain. She was a main. She was a main character, but she was more of a side villain.
That's fair. Whenever you have Garmadon in the picture, it's hard for another villain to really outshine. That being said, I think I would disagree with you on that. I definitely think that Harumi is the first female antagonist.
Oh no, I do think she's the first.
Maybe
but
not the first
I mean, like center
villain.
stage.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I'll give you that one. That's fair. Wait, you don't count Nia from season 3 when she gets turned into a dark matter monster?
Did we get her in a set?
Stop reminding me. Hashtag we want accurate legacy. But yeah, I don't remember what we're talking about, but
the season 11. No, actually, I was gonna ask you this: is there any Ninjago stuff you hate, like set or season? Because I'm actually working on video. Because there is one set, like there's like Ninjago has a ton of sets. There has good and bad sets. There's one set I hate. I don't like this set, and I hate the fact I bought it.
Did you say set or season?
I know set, like both. Like if because I do dislike season 11, but there is one set I bought recently, and I hate myself every day for buying this set.
Man,
I just had such a bad experience building it. It lacks play features. It looks good, but it's just not stable enough. And I won't spoil it because I don't want people to watch the video.
That's fair. You're gonna have to text me something later and tell me what it is, because like now I'm really curious. But like as far as sets that I hated,
like you bought it and then you instantly regretted that purchase. Is there any Ninjago set like that comes to mind, or Lego set in general? There definitely is a Lego set.
I was gonna say there's definitely Lego sets that I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I'm not a big Lego Star Wars fan.
Oh, totally agree.
I think a lot of the stuff is just like repetitive and stuff, but I'm not going to get into that because I know I'll get hate from someone. But man, Ninjago set. As far as seasons, I will probably get a lot of hate for this, and I think it was just the point in time in life that I was in. Because in like 2015, 2016, I didn't have a whole lot of extra money. It was my freshman year of college. So I wasn't able to experience Ninjago with everyone else. And that was kind of like my fall away from Twitter. I didn't really do Twitter anymore. So not Twitter, sorry, Tumblr.
Yeah.
And so like I didn't have the Tumblr community to like really like talk to and like hang out with and stuff. And I wasn't on Instagram yet. But Skybound is probably my least favorite season, not because it was a bad season, but just because of the season that I was in my life to not be able to fully appreciate it. And now that I'm far enough away from it, I don't think that I can ever really go through and like rectify that again. Yeah, I would have to say that. As far as sets though, I mean, the Overboard attack is obviously just a poo-poo garbage set, but like the figures in it are good.
I think the question is, do you regret buying it?
Yeah, that's fair. No, because
Overboard is awesome. You know, the Cyrus Borg figure is actually expensive.
Is it really?
I'm not sure, but I know it's pretty like desirable.
Interesting, because like I'm hoping that one day, hopefully sooner rather than later, we'll get like a proper Cyrus Borg figure.
Hopefully.
Because not having a proper Cyrus Borg figure, a little bit annoying. We also need new Pixel too. We needed a new Pixel like
2 years ago.
Yeah, we needed a new Pixel whenever Legacy started. Man.
So no question, no answer.
There's definitely nothing on there's nothing on display. Actually, I do have an answer.
Okay,
and
let's hear it.
The 2000 I guess the 2021 Rotojet. I was like, I built it. The
Wait, which set? I forgot.
The Rotojet.
Oh, the Boulder Blaster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Boulder Blaster. Duh. Rotojet is its like in universe.
In the universe, yeah.
I bought that set and I'm like I bought it for the properly named Master Cole version of the suit, not the Mantor version. We love Ninjago spell check. But and then obviously the Legacy minifigure, the golden 10-year figure that came with that. But I was just, I don't know. I put it together and I was really apathetic towards it. I thought that the Titan mech was
superior. It's
superior by every
sense of the word. Yeah,
exactly. Even the X1 Ninja Charger I thought was like cooler and sleeker, while the function in it is garbage. Excuse me. While the function in it is garbage, the set itself looks really cool. And I mean, I'm at the age now where I build a Lego set and it promptly goes up on a shelf, because I don't have the time to sit there and actually play with Lego. If I could, I probably would. But yeah, the Boulder Blaster was just kind of a disappointment. The figures were a disappointment. And we still haven't gotten like a Legacy 2 Zane. I think the Ninja Copter would have fit better than the Roto Blaster. Sorry, the Boulder Blaster.
Yeah.
And the Wave, but
okay. Let's transition. Okay, I think we have a really good transition here. So, what is your ideal Legacy Wave? Like your dreamed Legacy Wave?
How many sets do I have?
You have 4.
4. Okay. First and foremost, Legacy Ninja Copter, hands down. Legacy 2 Zane, Legacy Pixel, Legacy Cyrus Borg, a proper Legacy Cryptor, because the one we got in the Kai Fighter doesn't count. Yeah, right. Cool. You got a shoulder armor from Sons of Garmadon. So obviously that. I want a Legacy Samurai X, like the VXL.
Wow.
I know that's a little bit down the line. Like we haven't even like gotten to like Skybound Legacy sets yet. But the VXL I think is one of my favorite Ninjago vehicles, period. That turning function smooth, the colors are smooth. I really wish they would have stayed with just the pure red and gold for Pixel, because that minifigure is probably one of my favorite Ninjago minifigures, period.
Wait, red and gold or blue and gold?
Oh, sorry, blue and gold. You're right. Like
I was like, wait, did it have red?
No. That's I think the red, white, and gold blue mixture is not a great look for Pixel.
Yeah, I agree. The blue and gold and yeah.
If they could return to purple and silver and gold, I could probably forgive them for everything else. Let's see. I want so this is something that was talked about a lot whenever the first pictures of the Ultrasonic Raider. I want a good Ultrasonic Legacy Raider set, because mine is currently sitting in a project bin, as I call them, waiting to be dismantled and rebuilt to fit I just bought the proper brown colored treads to make it an actual Legacy thing, an actual Legacy Ultrasonic Raider. But an Ultrasonic that's the wrong thing. But there is a shadow of the Great Devourer on the box, and like a bigger, more fleshed out Legacy version of that, and maybe like a smaller, like maybe a little vehicle build, or not a vehicle build, a little like tower build for Garmadon to jump off of would be cool.
Is this like a $200 set?
It doesn't even need to be that big. Like there are pieces that exist. I'm trying to look around. Oh, There are pieces like this that exist that like they're like this that you could easily just like hook on the top, hook on the bottom, add some stuff in between, and just kind of make a longer. Like, I mean, I get that these pieces are bigger and cost more to produce, but like it could be $150 set. You add a little portion of Ninjago City onto it. Like, I think it would be cool to. I've always thought it'd be cool to be able to like mix and match Ninjago City in the way that you wanted it to, instead of it like being modular, but everything has to go in its proper spot.
I agree.
So you could like just like take a tower off of, even if it was like take a tower off of the City Garden set and just attach this new building piece on top of it, and recreate that battle with the Great Devourer. I think that would have been perfect. That's 3 sets now.
2, right?
2. Oh man, I feel like I've been talking for so long.
Well, I mean, you did go like into detail.
That's fair. What haven't we got that I want? I'll be really curious. This is in the same vein, but I'll be curious if they do a legacy line for the movie. I don't think they will.
No.
Okay.
I hate the movie.
I am not the biggest fan of the movie, but those sets are some of the best Ninjago sets we've gotten, period.
Oh, I agree. But I wrote a script once of like why I hate the Ninjago movie. I never posted it because I just, like you said, I don't want negativity. I don't. Right. I'm not that type of guy.
All right, fair. That's fair. I appreciate that.
It's like it's a really long script. It's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Oh man.
I go like in detail, like, and I call out people who created the movie, like in the script. I call out the director, and
oh my god,
I was like, he didn't do research. He like watched one episode of Ninjago and wrote a script from that. Like, yeah.
Have you? This is a little bit off subject, but have you read some of the alternate movie plots?
Yes, and they sound so much better.
And they're just so much better. Exactly.
The time travel plot was so much better.
Oh man, I'm thinking of the mongoose one where there was a mongoose instead of a cat.
There's a mongoose one? I didn't know that one. I know that the Vermilion was supposed to be the antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Which would have worked so much better too.
I agree. I like the Shark Army, and I understand like from like a children's perspective why we got that, because like sharks are cute and fluffy. No, they're not fluffy, but like they can like make shark vehicles and all that stuff. But like, nice. Oh, but I didn't like the sharks.
Nope. I hate the. I mean, I do hate season 11, but I also hate the film. Like, those are the two Ninjago content things I hate.
As long as I can force myself to look at the movie as like this different entity entirely, I can sit through and enjoy the movie. But
I remember. You go first. No,
go ahead. I've talked too much. Go.
That I remember. I saw Tommy Andreas in an interview, and he was like, "Well, I see the movie as a parody," and I remember I quote that in my rant. And I was like, it doesn't feel like a parody. Like, the Batman movie feels like a parody of Batman. What makes a parody funny is that it understands the subject matter.
Yeah.
The Ninjago movie does not understand what Ninjago is.
That's fair. Yeah. That's a good point. Cause like, I would agree. Like, it could be seen as a parody if that parody was season 7. Who said? Surely not me. I actually love season 7.
I actually love it too
for a lot of reasons, but I know there are a lot of people that don't, so I respect their opinion. Well, I don't know if I can pick another. I would want to see maybe the Possession, like a dragon battle with Possession, and have it be like a smaller version of Wu's dragon and like a smaller scaled down version of Moro's dragon. I think that'd be cool.
I would love that. Yeah.
Mostly because it would force me to spend a lot of money on Moro's dragon and Wu's dragon. Because eventually someday I want to have all the Ninjago dragons. And I'm like still like 10-ish dragons away from that. So it would force me, because like I said, I try to own, I actually currently own all of the
Modern?
original. Yeah, I own the legacy versions and then the original versions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All the, well, I guess I own the original versions of all the legacy sets. Just because I think it's a cool, like contrast to show them side by side. I think the only one that I don't have built currently is the 4+Js.
Oh, such a great set. Such a great set.
Such a baller set.
Oof.
I love that set became such a meme, and like everybody hopped on that so quick.
No, I think the Jace Electromech is a bigger meme.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought you were talking about the J, the jet from. That's also.
No. Oh yeah, I forgot they do have the jet. Yeah, no, Jay's Electromech. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Oof, that's I remember I saw the Lloyd Mech we're apparently getting next year. I saw people doing like J's, like just J but green on their thumbnails.
Yeah. And yeah, I have my reservations about this upcoming wave. I think what they're trying to do is interesting. I mean, obviously, like even Tommy Andreasen himself said that like I don't want to say said himself because I don't want to like misquote him or anything, but Ninjago kind of does its own thing when it comes to Lego. They don't seem, at least from what I understood from the comment, they don't have a whole lot of oversight directly from Lego because the line's been so successful. And so they probably have to get some approval from Lego at some point in time, somebody's got to check off the sets before they start production. But Ninjago can just kind of do whatever. And I think that this upcoming wave is kind of a testament to that. The temple, I'm obviously like super excited for. The mech, if the mech ends up being what I think it's going to be, and like can actually break down into 4 smaller mechs plus the 2 snake mechs that come with it, I think having 6 mini mechs, especially now that I'm in this like weird like post-mortem Exo Force headspace, I think 6 mechs in a single set will be really cool. If it doesn't end up being 3 mechs, like still 3 mechs, like we haven't gotten 3 mechs in a set since probably ever.
Never.
maybe Exo Force somewhere down the line, but like that's unheard of. The Evo things I'm a little worried about. Because if for some reason they do end up replacing Legacy,
I would be pissed.
Un poco mad. Yeah, it's a smaller wave than I was expecting. I hate that Jay and Lloyd and Kai get all the cool stuff. A little bit upset that Cole only comes in one set, but like I'm gonna probably buy most of the sets anyway. So I don't know.
How would you fix them? How would you fix the wave? Like if you were a designer at Lego or someone who oversaw the sets, like what would have been your notes?
Well, I think it's kind of a presumptuous undergoing at this point in time because we haven't seen the sets.
Yeah, we haven't seen them. But like just going off descriptions,
just from what we have, I think that. Like, I think one of the things that I liked so much about the earlier years of Ninjago is that every character got a vehicle, or almost every character got a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite things about Rebooted is like just how clever all of the, like we get a mech, we get a little tank thing with Jay's little tank thing, we get one of the best Ninjago sets ever to exist. That's not there for me to just hold up, by the way.
It's okay.
And then we like Lloyd gets his little bike, and then also the Samurai X thing vehicle later on.
Yeah.
And Kai gets a Kai Fighter, which like not only has a cool name, but is also like really cool function wise. And one of the things I've disliked so much about recent years is that like vehicles are so far and few between for all the characters.
Yeah, it's all like, about the 3 main guys.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Like even with what should have been a purely Cole set in Masters of the Mountain, we still got like half Kai. And like, this is dumb. Like, I don't want a Kai mech. We already have like 3 or 4 Kai mechs. I don't know how accurate that is, but we have a few.
Yeah.
And then like this wave, it's, you know, Kai's this and Lloyd's this and Jay's this. And like, I just want something for Cole. Like,
or Nia. Or wait, well, technically Nia's
or Nia. Yeah. Or Nia. That's fair. I've kind of put Nia in the back of my mind because I know that like I know that Nia is out there, but I also know like she's not the focus. And I understand that like this upcoming wave kind of is outside of the TV show scope. I don't want to say outside of the TV show universe because I'm pretty sure it's probably still canon. But yeah. Whenever they decided to give Cole, what's up?
No. You go. You go first.
I was just gonna say whenever they decided to give Cole the secondary color of orange, they should have just leaned into that all the way. Because like black and orange is like such a cool color combination.
Okay,
Cole vehicle, because it's not. We don't get any proper Cole vehicles, and I think that's kind of annoying. So yeah, wait, Cole doesn't.
Was it dirt bike the last like main Cole vehicle? This is the last one I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yep. And that's such a cool set.
Yeah. Again, it's a bike, but with a different execution.
Exactly. And then that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Is like everybody complains about bikes and mechs and Ninjago. I'm like, what else would you have other than that? Nothing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You have location-based sets and like, you know, maybe some cool monsters out there and stuff too, but like you can't just have locations fighting monsters because locations don't fight monsters. That's absurd. I think there are definitely like ways to like get around that. Like I think the Destiny's Bounty is a prime example of that. Like every time I hear that there's a new Destiny's Bounty coming out, even the 4+ set, I just get excited. I get giddy. I'm like, oh, we get another Destiny's Bounty. This is gonna be so cool. Or another iteration of a bounty vehicle. I think my biggest complaint with this upcoming wave is the reuse of those freaking flame whipper heads.
Oh, like, is it confirmed they're going to be reused?
I don't know if it's actually going to be used. My guess, and this is,
I heard the news and then people being like, "Oh, Geo Whippers or Terror Whippers."
Yeah. A certain YouTuber called them Geo Whippers, who I won't name for the. You know, I don't want you to get called.
Let's not
spreading slander or whatever. But even though it's not slanderous, it's just that's what he likes.
Well, actually, I saw them on. I saw it on a group chat. I didn't know a certain YouTuber said that.
But yeah, like if the other thing too is like it could just be placeholders. I'm sure that official images probably aren't out there.
Hopefully not.
It's also just speculative. But my guess is that they're not finished yet. Like I can only assume though. So my guess is that those may just be placeholders. There might be other things that are just placeholders. But yeah, I can't fault Lego for reusing that piece over and over again, but I can fault Lego for using it over and over again because that's like my opinion. But like it just feels weird having that same head in 3 different colors. And I know that there are like plenty of other things that we've gotten that have come in, various colors and stuff over the years. But like I don't know, I just feel like there could have been a different. And there were people talking about it in the MLB chat as well. They're like, oh, if they use the same head mold, then that means that they're saving money on this, which could, either give us new ninja faces, which I feel like we've desperately needed since the movie came out.
Yes.
Because, like, I thought those worked well for the movie characters. but not so much for the TV show characters.
Yeah.
And so like anytime we get like a new printing, like a new double-headed printing, like with the Spinjitzu Slam stuff a couple of years ago, we got two-sided faces. I'm like, this is awesome. I can use those headpieces for my ninja doing other things. So
I thought Legacy was like the best way to introduce new face prints for sure.
And they just didn't.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was a little silly, but you know, again, it comes down to, you know, how is Ninjago going to choose to use their budget? And I mean, I can't really speak to that because I'm not part of the team.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I think that people that get overly toxic about their opinions regarding sets.
I also think designers aren't disrespected to a certain point, because I remember a lot of people hate on the Garmatron, but like the Garmatron wasn't designed like I read it, like I don't know if you read designer bios or notes on Brickset.
I don't really, but because I didn't realize it existed, but that's cool.
Yeah, you can go on Brickset and you just click on designers, and then you can see their all the sets they've designed, and they leave notes.
That's
sometimes the
cool.
notes are really funny. They're like, yes, I did this thing on this set. And they're like, I made the table. And sometimes they're like super detailed, like yes. And I remember I read the Garmatron designer notes, and he was like, I had just had this really cool idea for a tank, and then the show redesigned it. But now people always ask me like, why doesn't it look like in the show? And so I just felt so bad for the designer. Like, this guy just had this idea for like a tank, but then the show made it like this mega weapon.
And that's the other thing too, is like Ninjago, I don't say all, but like the design process for any sort of thing like that is, you know, upwards to, you know, 2 years.
Yeah.
It could be longer, it could be shorter, but like it's around 2 years. And so like whenever people get really uppity about that sort of stuff, like I get it. Like I'd rather have gotten an accurate Garmatron too, but I just took my original Garmatron and remade it to look more screen accurate. And like I understand that like there are people either due to budgetary constraints or just sometimes just a lack of imagination that can't put that sort of thing together. And like I can understand from that point why they get a little bit upset about that. But at the same time, they have to realize that like it's not going to be perfect. Like there's a pretty significant time difference between the time that the sets are, you know, all but finalized and the story's written.
Yeah.
And I know that Braggy Shrew on Twitter has talked about that a lot, you know. And I know that like Neek had talked about that with you know, the little Hydra mech at the front of the
and the Woobot and the Woobots.
Yeah, the Woobots. Well, the Woobots were in the show.
Were they? I don't remember them.
Yeah, like for like 2 seconds they were in the show.
I don't remember them in the show, actually.
They blowed open like a hole because like, yeah, they were just like little bombs. They blew up in a hole or something, or they stopped Prince Calamar from doing something.
I thought the Woobots were a super cool thing.
What?
I thought the Woobots were a super cool concept.
And like they take off the TV from Alpha Team, the kind of the concept from TV, and I think that's even cooler is giving that little callback. And I think that's one thing that I think I'm really excited for this like upcoming wave of designers, is that like these new designers grew up in like that era of Lego where it became a lot more similar to what we have today as Lego.
Yeah.
Because like you look back at like the 70s and the 80s with Lego, and there's just a lot of like weird stuff.
I mean, Life on Mars. I mean, that's early 2000s, but still, that's Life on Mars is
exactly like there's a lot of weird Lego stuff. You know, I'm not saying that like that stuff was bad or that people can't like that. I'm just saying that Lego is different than the Lego that we know today, and I can understand from a certain point of view why, you know, people that grew up on that stuff, you know, aren't as big of a fan of the Lego that we have today. Because it's different. People grow up with different things, and but I also just think that people should be more respectful about what people like, what people don't like, and seeing a generation of Lego designers that are more familiar. I don't want to say more familiar because like the Lego designers that create the stuff that the new designers played with are some of them are still working for Lego. And so it just like it's a little convoluted, but like having those little things like we saw TV in
Inside?
Yeah, Hidden Side.
Yeah.
Which is another great wave that died way too soon.
Wait, where's my one? Well, actually, I think Neek was also the guy behind that.
Yeah.
The Hidden Side. What's it called? The fire truck?
The fire truck. I don't remember what it was called. It was like their second base or whatever after the bus got destroyed. Also having our first Lego school bus in like a Ghostbusters-esque in-house Lego theme, like sign me up. Oh, there's also a Bionicle reference in that.
That's the only Hidden Side set I own.
It was the only one I owned before they all went on like stupid clearance. I got a majority of the first wave, like with the exception of the school. I'm pretty sure I own all of the first wave and got it for like $50.
Wow.
I was so proud of that find because like I hardly ever find good Lego deals, but finding all of those was just.
I always get stuff from Facebook Marketplace. That's if you want to see some really cheap Lego, Facebook is the place. Because like people just don't know what they're selling.
I got this XO4 set. There's a mech that comes with it and stuff.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, I always wanted that set.
I got this one from Facebook Marketplace for $35.
So good.
But I don't my area. I'm just not convinced that people in Oklahoma City know how to do Lego properly. So
no way, you're from Oklahoma?
Yeah.
I grew up in Oklahoma too.
I'm sorry.
Sorry?
No, I'm just kidding. I came to college here in Oklahoma almost 6 years ago now. And
you stayed.
I just stayed.
I think it's like the first time I ever meet someone who lived in Oklahoma.
That's me. I've been stuck here. No, I'm just kidding. I love Oklahoma. It's done treated me well. But yeah, there's just like I know that I've talked to people at the Lego store too that even them they're just like there's like a Lego users group here in town, but like it's not super big and like doesn't do a whole lot. And so like I don't know if I have like the prowess or the want to make that bigger because like I already have Masters of Brick Jitsu is a registered online Lego users group, which is different than Lug, but is like in the same vein. But I don't have the patience to deal with more people than I already deal with on a daily basis. So I have to skip on that one.
Yeah, I don't want to sound mean, but I very much avoid talking to people sometimes.
No, I feel you.
There's people I definitely like you or like Ninja Whip, Deluxe. I don't know if you know who Deluxe.
Yeah, I think I've talked to him once. I was on the your guys' like little pre-show for the Lego Con, and like that's been like one of the few times I've interacted with him.
Oh, I was there actually.
Yeah. But like he seems like a really cool guy. Like his videos are always just like A+. Yeah,
well, like that's my Deluxe is actually my inner circle.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And so yeah, like there's always people like most of the people I have on the podcast, it's people I've talked to, like I know or I've actually interacted more than once.
Yeah.
And so
which I totally understand because there are people within the community that I don't know if I'd want to just sit down and have a conversation with. Mostly because I don't know them super well, but like, I don't
know if this happens to you, but sometimes I get weird messages and I don't know how to reply.
So there have been a couple times where there's weird messages that like turn into like really good like friendships, and sometimes where I'm just like, okay, like I'm just gonna look at your message and like it and say thank you, or whatever regarding I've gotten some like weird ones where like I've had just like block people because like people have been like, oh hey, like, you know, follow me, and I'm like, I have no issue following people. I think follower like leading so heavily into follower counts and stuff is like
I don't care.
something that's just very like, I don't want to say immature because I know that there are a lot of people out there that like that they do that for a living. And that's like, you know, that's how they put the bread on the table and stuff. But like for me being, you know, kind of a lower level you know, Ninjago fanboy on Instagram, like followers don't mean anything to me. And like I think getting into LAN on my own merits would be cool eventually, but I like where I'm at with being a moderator for Masters of Brick-Jitsu, and like just I'm comfortable with where I'm at right now. I like doing my mocks. I like not having to you know, post every day and, you know, worry about followers and, you know, people who are just like unfollowing me and stuff. And like my follower count is almost as high as the people that I follow is almost as high as the people that follow me. Because, you know, if someone's gonna go out of their way to, you know, follow me, like I'm gonna go out of my way to follow them back. That's just that's kind of my philosophy most of the time, unless like their page is like dumb memes that just like are dumb. Or they don't have any, if they don't have anything posted on their page, I probably won't follow them back. But I try to be like as one-to-one as possible because again, it's just like if I can follow them and like, you know, make their day better, then cool. If, you know, if they're going to go out of their way to like comment on a photo or something, then like, yeah, like, you know, thanks for the interaction. Like, I appreciate that. I'm going to follow you back.
Actually, I don't know why. Most of the times I always comment on your photos, but it's not because I want to comment. It's just I genuinely have something to say.
Yeah, I noticed that a couple there are quite a few people that are kind of frequent commenters, and I appreciate that because something like this, like one of my favorite things to do is to discuss why I choose to do certain things, especially with my mocks. I had a run in. So do you watch Lego Masters at all?
No.
Okay. So there was someone who was on Lego Masters last year. His name was Christian. And I got to meet him at Brickmaster or at Brick Fair. And I guess one of my other friends got talking to him about how my about my set and stuff. And he really is into like Asian, you know, inspired sets and stuff, and wanted to like come check it out. And my friend got over there. She's like, oh, I'd like rather have you like meet the designer and stuff and like talk to him about it. And so like I got to talk to this guy who's on Lego Masters, and he was like, oh, he's like, this is so cool, yada yada this, yada yada that. And I'm like, you know, thank you for taking the time to, you know, sit and talk to me, because like I look at him as this sort of like upper echelon of like Lego fan. And I think something that Brick Fair was so cool about is that like once you get to Brick Fair, everybody's on the same level essentially. Like there are no like, you know, there are no like famous people, at least to me. There was like no famous people. Everybody was just there to share that one thing in common. That was Lego.
Yeah, Lego.
And you know, I thought that was cool because that's what I try my philosophy. Like that's what I tried to do with like my own personal philosophy when it comes to Lego. Like whenever Braden, you know, invited me to kind of be a part of the team that was putting together the documentary, I'm like, I'm absolutely honored because like I've looked up to you so long, and you know, following him for so long, and to, you know, have this person that, you know, I've been following so long be like, hey, like I like this, will you come and like work on this team for us? I was beside myself. And there are a lot of other people like that now. I know that like Pin Plays, for instance, is another one that like I would always try to have discussions with and stuff on Eurobrick. And I always looked at him as like this person who's just head and heels above like my knowledge level and stuff. And he is extremely knowledgeable when it comes to anything Lego. And now we're good friends.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And so like, he's part of like what I would consider my inner circle for like Lego people. That and like, I don't know Jan super well, the Marvelous Jan, but like I'm in his Discord server and stuff. I think you are too, aren't you?
Does he have like? Is it Masters or does he have like
it's called the Marvelous Fam. If not, then
Nope,
I
I'm
can add
not.
you.
I'm not a
I
part
mean,
of
if
that.
you want to, I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to like.
I mean, I'd love to
Um,
speak to Jan, but I'm really scared of reaching out to people. Like that's just like my thing, because
yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
most of the people I know, they reach out to me. Like Ninja Whip, Brighton, he reached out to me, and I remember the first time I spoke with him, I was like, dude, I followed you for so long. Like, it's so cool you're talking to me. And same
That's
thing
what
with
I
like
said. Like,
no, same thing with like Nick on Planet Ripple. Well,
yeah,
he DM'd me on Discord because he wanted me to come on his channel for a video, and
that's so cool.
that was for me when the guy was just like, "Hey, I have this April Fool's video I want to do. Do you want to be a part of it?" And I was just like, "Dude, you're the reason I have a YouTube channel."
Yeah,
and it was just like,
because even whenever you ask me to come on this, and I'm like, why? Like, I just like build Legos and stuff. Like,
no, but like for me, this channel isn't like for me, it doesn't matter like who comes on. It's the conversation what matters. It's showing our love to Lego. Talking is that's why the channel is called Maverick Opinions. Because sorry, you go first.
That's fair. I didn't actually. It's bad.
Sorry, yeah, my internet also sucks.
Oh, that was probably my internet. My roommate's probably playing like, what is the Smite? He likes playing Smite. So whenever I try to do anything on the computer, it just eats up all the broadband. But like that's one thing that like, and I appreciate you like you reaching out and stuff, but like, that's one thing I think is so cool about Masters of Brick-Jitsu is that it connects all these fans from all these different places and gives them a place to interact. Mm-hmm. And like I understand that there are going to be some people there that choose not to interact because they are, I don't say they're bigger names, but like they're bigger names in the Ninjago community. And so there are going to be people that may not necessarily be the kindest in action, but like maybe kind in like the way that they approach them, but like may not be kind in like the actual way that they decide to initiate that conversation. And Masters of Brick-Jitsu, I think, is just like a perfect place for, Ninjago fans to kind of in a marketing agency. Like I have a lot of, I don't say that I have extra time, but like I can at least like still moderate and stuff when I'm pinged in to make sure that everything's going smoothly. And that's my hope is that we can have a good place for Ninjago fans to kind of coexist together, even if everybody is super involved. That's why we have like events and stuff, is to get people interacting.
The events are great.
Yeah, you did the quiz one.
Yeah,
the trivia. Yep, I remember that.
I wanted to do the story one, but I just didn't have time. With school, especially that first semester or the first month was it was rough.
I can't remember. I can imagine. Like I can, like looking back at like my. Like I still bought Legos, but I wasn't very active on anything when college started. I dropped off Tumblr and didn't really do anything after that. But I can totally imagine that with college.
The thing for me at college is because my career is so technical. It's so much about abilities, right? Mm-hmm. Like you need to know how to render. You need to know how to 3D model, and it's like you need to spend time doing these things. So I like those 5-8 hours I would spend daily on videos. Well, now I'm spending them on this.
Yep. And I don't blame you at all, because college is a pot of coffee that's not to everyone's taste. There are some times that like I'm very grateful I went to college because some of the things I learned, but there are some other times where like I'll get like find myself in like a tight spot at work, and going to Google is easier than like calling upon the knowledge that I learned like my freshman year in this one class for like one assignment. I don't like Photoshop very much for that reason, but
really, I love Photoshop.
I want to do like branding and stuff. And so like branding is just not something you do. and Photoshop. Like logos and branding and stuff is like one day
Illustrator,
yeah, Illustrator, hands down Illustrator. Because if you try to do logos in Photoshop, I'll come to your house and I'll
actually you can smack me right now. My first logo was done. It wasn't even done on Photoshop. Do you know what Canva is? Canva. I did the first MBO logo. I did it on Canva. Is it called Canva? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I can't fault you because I know how easy it is to create in Canva. When I was marketing director at the car dealership I used to work at, we had Canva so that we could like put out like marketing graphics and stuff because one of the graphic designers under me didn't know how to use like she wasn't a graphic designer, she was a social media person.
Okay.
Trying to learn how to
I was like, web graphic designer doesn't know how to use Photoshop.
There was another graphic designer that I worked with that worked purely in Photoshop, and I'm like,
yeah,
let's go ahead and teach you some Illustrator. But there's a social media person that I had do everything in Canva because there are already presets and stuff in there for her. I'm like, if this is going to make your life easier, it's going to make my life easier, and everybody's going to be happy at the end of the day. So I'm not opposed to Canva for certain things, but whenever you said you made your first logo in Canva, man, oh man.
Do you want to know the worst part? It was off-centered. Like, because you know the logo is like it's do you know what an eye of God is? Like
yes, yeah.
Well, it was my girlfriend gave me an eye of she made me an eye of God, and so the logo, I don't know if you can see it, it's like there, and you can see it. Let me go for it.
You got this.
Okay, it's this.
Yeah. Yep. That's so cool.
That I designed the logo because you know my girlfriend is one of the people who encouraged me to start a YouTube channel.
That's really cool.
So I made the logo in her honor. And so the line, the white line and the cross, man. You know, they were all off-centered. It wasn't until late last year that because I in college I took a basic what's the word digital tools. I think that's a class name. Digital tools. Probably. And they gave me like the basics of Photoshop and Illustrator. Oh, man. Like all the Adobe stuff, they just taught me that, which is a great use. It's a great tool. They also gave me a free 1 year subscription. So
that sounds like something we had like I'm actually still on my student account, which like it's probably not good because like that's technically against like the rules and regulations for me to create things with my account and sell it.
The student accounts?
Yeah.
Fun fact. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I learned about that like literally like 4 weeks ago, like a month ago. They were talking about it at work, and they were like, yeah, like because the place that I work is a film studio and a advertising agency, and so they're working on a project right now that required the use of Premiere Pro or something like that, or After Effects, something like that.
Yeah.
And there are some interns that were helping work on it that were told that they couldn't use their student accounts because in order for this movie to be like 100% compliant, they had to use like actual paid for, like full price paid for accounts. So found out that I probably broke the law a couple times. So
I'll probably have to delete, cut this out because I don't want to get you in trouble.
I don't care. They can come for me. They can the Adobe can come for me. But make sure you check on me in like 2 weeks to make sure I'm not,
Okay, now I think we've done this for 2 hours, so I want to end with one final question.
Okay, I didn't realize how long we've been going, but holy damn.
Classic or modern Ninjago?
Oh man, I already answered this on your Instagram, but classic all the way.
But why? I want to know why.
It's a purely a nostalgia thing. I bought like 6 or 7 spinners while I was at Brick Fair, and also like someone just like randomly came up to me and gave me the
Cold EX.
Yeah, the Cold EX one for free.
Wow.
He was like, He's like, I know I talked to you yesterday. He's like, I don't know any other like Ninjago fans, but like, here's this thing. And I'm like,
I should go to Brick Fair next year. I'm going to Brick Fair next year.
I'm to Brick Fair next year.
I'm going to Brick Fair next year.
Like, I'll come pick you up and take you there wherever you're going. Like, we'll caravan there.
I mean, I could fly to Oklahoma City.
There you go. But yeah, for real, like I know this isn't like a huge advertising for Brick Fair, but like Brick Fair was like some of the most fun I've had in my like adult life. Because summer camps don't exist anymore. I've got a full-time dumb job. No, I'm just kidding. It's not dumb. I love my job, but I have a full-time job that like really stops me from like traveling a whole lot. But like Brick Fair was just such it was what I needed at the time it happened. It was just, it was perfect. 10 out of 10. Everybody who's listening or watching this, go to
Brick Fair 2022.
2022. I don't know what the theme is yet, but it'll probably be really cool. This past year was dinosaurs. I have my little pin here to commemorate it.
Oh, nice.
Dinosaur Lego pin. Go to Brick Fair. This isn't an option. Everybody's coming or else.
We're coming for you to take you to Brick Fair.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That was less creepy at the end than I thought it was going to be.
Anyways, thanks for coming, man.
Really thanks for inviting me. This has been so much fun. My roommate's probably mad because I cook dinner normally, and he's probably starving or probably ordered out something. So we'll see. Yeah, he just asked me if I'm still in the interview, and he was like, okay. So he's probably going to be mad at me, but oh well.
Anyways, see ya, man.
Yeah, see you, man. Appreciate it.